Hey, family. Hi, Deborah. I was just praying. I was just praying, asking God to decrease me and increase Him. I was praying and asking God to decrease me and increase Him. A lot of times when I open up my mouth, and be honest, it's not about y'all, okay? When I say something out my mouth as a messenger of Christ, I don't know who might need to hear whatever God lay on my mind, my heart, and my spirit. I don't know who might need to hear whatever God lays on my mind, my heart, and my spirit. So if you come on my platform or you're listening to me and you are a messenger for Christ, I need you to speak to the people. I'm not asking you to speak to me or try to fix me. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I know who's the author. I know who's the fixer. I know who's the doctor. I know who's the ruler of my life. And when I ever get to a point in my life, family, that say like I'm a little weary about something might be coming down on me, crashing down on me. And if you don't understand those words, say like we going through trials and tribulations. We having certain storms in our life, right? Or tragedies, however put it right there for yourself, just in case I don't mention it, because it could, it's just trials and tribulations. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay. And I've learned throughout the years that trials and tribulations come to make us strong. And if you is connected with Christ by way, now watch what I say, right? Because it might not be your journey, but you will understand what I'm saying. If you aren't connected by way of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you might be connected with him in another way, right? So it's not to push how he worked with you on other people. Like you might be studying more science, right? You might be, or more Samaritan, more Samaritan. If I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me. You might be a Muslim. You might be an Israelite. So your path to getting where we're going at might be a little bit different than mine, right? Your journey could be a little bit quicker, but how are you living? My journey might be a little bit slower, but I can tell you how I'm living. That's why I come on here. See, I don't have a problem telling people how or sharing my experience of making mistakes in life and how God helped me to correct them to live the life I'm living now. See, that's what I can share with you according to scripture, how my life is turned around. I don't care if you believe in Jesus Christ or not. To me, and it's not to be smart, right? That's your problem. But I'm only saying it because my journey was more biblical. So I can only go by Bible. You get me? So if you study the Ethiopian Bible or you study all these other Bibles, I'm telling y'all right now, Steve Copeland, I'm telling you right now, if you study other Bibles, Ethiopian Bible, this Bible, that Bible, and if you want to share your experience with me, I'm very open to it. But once you share, you got to talk about how. I don't care about your knowledge, right? how, I'm gonna say, the religious work or doctrine that you're learning, how has it changed your life? You get me? I don't care what you study. I want to know, how do you use, like if you're studying something with your knowledge right to help you get a better understanding of certain things, that's fine. But how do you use the information that you learn to become a better individual now? That's all I want to know. Because any material, anything we study, you know they're going to tell us about, like, the tragedies, right? Tragedies, the stuff that happened in the past, you know, what went on during that time. And what that can do, it can either make us depressed, or it can either encourage us and motivate us to become better people from what was done to our ancestors. Do y'all realize that? A lot of y'all will learn information, historical information, to wallop in it. We already know what happened in 1619. We already know what happened in 1591. We already know what happened in Deuteronomy. And I'm quite sure whatever you read, you know, doctrinated, teaching, whatever you read in your particular religion, it's going to tell you a lot of the stuff that we read and study in the Bibles. It just might be worded a different way, but the meaning is the same. But my thing is, right, and I got to do biblical, right? And it's not a religious thing. I just got to do biblical, because that's part of how my life is guided, you know, by the morals, the values, the spirituals, the principles, right, that I get out of scripture. Did I mess you up? The morals, the values, the spiritual principles that I get out of scripture. I can always look at my life. I ain't got to look at their life. I remember when I was a crutch ball, no good, blah, 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 blah. I remember that. Do you? And I can tell you how God turned my life around, and I no longer live that life. Can you? I'm talking about based on your religion. You can study any religion you want, but what spiritual principles do you get out of that to make you a better human being? That's what I want to know. Well, see, back in the day when Elijah Muhammad and the prophet of blah, 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 only reason why I'm saying it like that, because people have a tendency of doing it. They tell you about everybody's life story, how God worked with them during that time, but you can't talk about how God working with you. Bing! You cannot open up your mouth and talk about how the same spirit, the same creator that worked with those people back during that time, before you was born, which empowered them, encouraged them, and motivated them to write their stories. And you can't even talk about your own. You too busy memorizing and mimicking somebody else's life story. So the whole point of me saying all of this, watch this. We know the trauma from what we read and restudy, right? That our ancestors went through. We know the horror that they went through. All of them didn't go through it. Keep in mind. All of them didn't go through it. Some of them lost their lives. Y'all know that. But the ones that was able to give life birthed people like us today. So what we do, we read and we study our past history, and you stay stuck. What are you doing today to flip a lot of that the system created to hurt the people? I'll wait. I'll wait. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better open up your eyes. Because the more you talk about the white man system, the more you talk about the white man, everybody that's oppressing us, enslaving us, is not white. Okay? You can keep convincing yourself. And it's going to make you miss the other people that's setting up stuff to depress, enslave, and oppress the people. And we're not all black. That's where your mindset is at, because you stuck. You think this system was designed. It might have started out designed. No, let me stop. Do you think the system was just designed by whites only? Listen to the word of the have and the have-nots. Are they all white? Look at all these different cultures out here, different countries. And people are suffering all over the world. But we're so stuck on me, look what they doing to You got to open up your mind to understand that it's the have and we that don't have nothing. That's their way of stepping on your neck, because you have not. And to be honest with you, you cost them a lot of money. They pay a lot of tax money for you working with them. And they ain't all white. That's your crap. The same way we pay taxes, they pay taxes on us. I didn't see this at first. You pay 6.5%, somewhere along that line. I was saying, what, 7, I think, at one point. Because it's 15 altogether. Half and half. I didn't know that until I was with A. Dewey Pop. If I made $100,000 a year, they paid $100,000 even for me working with them. I said, how in the heck can they do this? When you get into the 401k, normally your company, right, will add a little money to the 401k too, right? That's the investment. When you do the retirement plan, you put your own money into it, but the company that you with put a percentage into. When you do Medicaid, the company. And the Medicaid, basically you working for the company, right? So that's there mainly when you retire from that company. Do y'all look into stuff like this? Or y'all just run off at your damn mouth? To have talking points. Now, I didn't understand until I started doing the work that I do, what I do with the people that I work with, stuff like their family. I didn't understand none of this. I didn't understand none of it. That's why you have a lot of warehouses that big corporations own. That's why you have these offices, corporation itself, that big corporations own. The goal is for them to get people to do the work for free. And if you think I'm lying, try this. Most of your men and women that goes to prison is called the slave plantation. They can get you to work basically for nothing. In these warehouses, right, that a lot of them corporations own, they do have people that come from prison that work in there too. I delivered to a warehouse, and they had people from the prison coming in working beside the regular employees. I talked with a lot of them when I was driving tractor trailers. I thought it was honorable because it gave them time to get out, to come out, and work during that time. No, they was not in there in uniforms. I mean, in their, scrubs. It happens a lot, more than what y'all realize. So if you got 20 employees and you got about 30, let's say 10 or 20, 30 ex-offenders or somebody like that coming in, only working for about $3 for that day, whoever bringing them in, they might be getting $20. I'm using it as an example for them for an hour for them to work, because normally it's a contract. So I'm trying to, give you a little example. Because I drove tractor trailers, I seen this. Because I'm in the public, I see this. So the thing, what I'm trying to get with y'all, the work that we do to try to break it. Candy, come on. I know you out there somewhere. I didn't came up. I was talking with somebody last night, right? And y'all know, I tell y'all, I got ordained deacon, right? That's just the title that the church gave me. I told y'all deep in my heart, I'm a minister, right? In my heart. In my spirit, I'm sorry. Somebody was talking to me last night. Now, I know evangelists and all that type of stuff. I know them. I work with them too. But I never looked at myself exactly like that until somebody brought it to my attention last night. And when I read up the definition, which is all of that, is rolled up into that one. All of that basically describe the work that I do. So I was telling her when she said it, right? I said, you know what? That's the word evangelist that I might have to use for people to better understand where I'm at. Because when I say I'm a deacon, and I was telling her this, when I say I'm a deacon, and I'll do it to be smart, y'all don't catch it. I'll tell you I'm a deacon because I know you're going to sit back and say, oh, he's sleeping with the church. Oh, they this. Oh, they that. Oh, I know you're going to go there. That's why I say it sometimes. Just for you to talk negative about it. So I could tell you not this one right here. And you'll start lying to yourself because you don't even know me. Yes, you did. You don't know I don't. And guess what? If I want to sleep with anybody in the church and outside the church, and I'm talking about a woman, I can. I already know Steve. I just choose not to do it. Listen to what I said. I know the power I have. I know the authority I have. I already know all of that to get whomever I want. Even you. I know the games I'm sorry. I know the games you play to get there. You can act like you might not like me if you want, but once you give me that certain smile, like hee, I got you. So don't give certain people that hee, because it's blushing. The moment I might say certain things to you, and the moment I hear you blush with it, it's like, I know I got you. And it might take some work. And women, queens, let's be honest. Okay? Because normally if you find a man kind of attractive, and I'm an older guy, even though you might not, want to step there. And once I get that feeling, and you go, hee, or you blush about something, I know I can get you. Because it takes work to go to that next level. You can sit there and tell yourself all you want. Not me. Try me. I learned the games during the time, But guess what? A lot of those behaviors, just for today, I don't practice. But I know, and this is mainly for TikTok, because I hear a lot of y'all up here, all men this, all men that. And I tell y'all, I'm a retired OG. I tell y'all, I'm a retired sugar daddy. And y'all act like that flies right over your head. I'm a retired 304, like y'all say on here. Whoremonger. I'm retired now. But I can come out of retirement any day. Because I know what it takes to get you. I'll go on a hunt. You heard what I say? I'm like that roaring lion. I will go on a hunt. But I just want to say this to any woman that might be looking. Do not, okay? Do not entertain. If a guy is coming off to you, and if it's not someone that you really care for, you don't have to be nasty and mean, but do not entertain it. Because if he's saying certain things, he's looking for a reaction from you. The moment you go, hee, like a little giggle or blush, he already know what to do to get you. And if and he will chase you. And if that's not what you want, even though you did the little blush thing, hee, right then and there, it's a sign of you got work to do to get me. Y'all might not see it like that. But then you'll be like, he keep following me. He keep pursuing me. And I don't mean in a crazy way. Don't get it wrong. I ain't talking about like that. Because this might involve flowers. Like sending roses and stuff to your job. Sending you candy. Making you feel good about certain things. And then your co-workers seeing this guy doing this, doing that. Be like, girl, you should talk to him. He seems like he cool, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to, I'm telling you. They're going to tell you. They're going to encourage you to talk to him, even though he might be psycho once you really talk with him and you realize it. But it's just the way he starts treating you to win you in. I played all those games. That's why I laugh at y'all when I hear stuff today. That's why when I post stuff on TikTok, I say retired. When I say I'm a retired OG, I used to be in the streets. I know about the hustling lifestyle. I know about that. We had the package out there, so I understand all of that. I wasn't selling nobody else's stuff. That's why y'all need to listen. The game ain't changed much. The only thing that changed with the game, a lot of them ain't making money no more. And I'm talking about the touters. I'm talking about the ones that's out there hustling for the ones that giving them the stuff. They ain't making money like they used to. So because they're not making money like they used to back in my days, a lot of your hustlers are still struggling because they out there trying to make nickels and dimes to help their baby mamas pay certain things. They got to make sure they got money on the side for her. Then they got to make sure they got that man's money together or woman. So a lot of times, somebody like me, when I come and talk to them, it's like, okay, I'd rather see you get a decent job where you can afford to take care of your baby mother and the kids. So I'll ask you, what do you want to do with your life? You might say, Big I want to go back to school to get my GED or high school diploma. No problem. You might say, Big I want to be an electrician, or I want to do HVAC, or I want to get into trucking. So because of the people that I associate with, I'll be like, all right, you can go to this program here, you can go to that program there. But you got to go into the communities and talk with them. The poor, Black communities. In the hood. A lot of y'all are afraid. And I truly understand. But you run off at your mouth and you keep going around in circles, right? Because you know the ones that need our help the most, right, are normally your homeless and your less fortunate people. Your people that's living in poverty, below the poverty rate, that needs help the most. How many people that you personally know that makes under $40,000 or $28,000 a year can afford a $1,500 rent? And God knows that might be 1 or 2 bedrooms. So y'all steady running off at your mouth saying stuff. Why you not in the community like God and them, where you can go over here to get help with your rent, or you can go over there to get support with putting food in the house? I don't hear y'all doing that. Matter of fact, when you talk, I don't hear none of y'all talk about, well, I'm in the community and I help guide them to like GED programs, getting their high school diploma, nursing school. It's a lot of programs out there that get money, get funding. With apprenticeship programs. They need clients because they get the money for it. So say like if they doing 100 students this year, right? But they lined up to do 50 more, they got to show the paperwork, show what they're doing in order to get, say like if they need millions for the next year. Because now this time, this is how much we use for operation this year. Devin, you want to talk about the financial aspect of it? This is how much it cost me to run the business for the first year. Nobody's going to give you money if you doesn't have your paperwork and your finances in order. In order for me, and it might have changed, why am I going to apply for $1 million and I haven't done $1 million worth of work? So throughout that year, right, I have to make sure my receipts, I have to make sure everything is lined up. Because going into the second year, it might have cost me $1.5 million to operate that business that first year. Devin, but I want to apply for $2 million. They see that I ran off of 1.5 that year. So now I can apply for $2 million. That's only 500,000 more. So 9 times out of 10, if I got about 25 or 50 clients that's waiting to come in, basically it will cover it. The operation for going on that second year. Now, some companies, when they apply, Devin, for the money, it might get to the point where you want 2.5 or 3 million. So now after 2 years of operating off of that, getting off of that 1 year for that 2 million, I can go and apply again. And this is government funding. So if they see that I need to operate off of 3 million now, because I'm showing you everything, financially and all of that, that's why they write you the grant for the money. Because they see you actually doing the work. They see the finances that's going in. They will give you a little bit more than what you asked for. So you might have a year or two to pay it off. I mean, not pay it off, I'm sorry. To spend that money. Because now, at the end of that time frame, if you have not spent all of that grant money that they gave you and you trying to reapply, it shows them that you don't need extra money. So you have to make sure you spend the money and then reapply. I told you I was a board member, bro. So I knew what we had to do on that side. And I'm only saying this because of the conversation we had yesterday. And I'm sick and tired of most people. You don't do what I do. You do not do what I do. You do landscaping. You do not have board meetings. You do not have a staff. You do not have volunteers. You basically is a landscaper. You're going to try to compare your landscaping business to my housing program. Don't even have a goddamn on board. That was the conversation yesterday, Candy. I was trying to shut my mouth because most people were trying to tell me. Now, I've been doing this for years, but you're going to tell me. Basically try to tell me, no, you talk about your business and how you do certain things. And no, I ain't mean to go ahead, Candy. It's just that I started talking. One thing, because I was thinking about certain things. One thing, if I'm going to have a business meeting, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to plan it about 2 months ahead of time. Because I need to set a schedule that everybody can come together with. Sometimes that individual that's coming to the meeting, right, something might happen where they can't make it. And what they'll do, they'll send me a message to let me know they're not going to be able to make that day because there's something else came up, blah, blah, blah. And I understand it very well because I know it happens. But these are people that's normally interested in coming to meet me and see what I'm doing. Nobody. It was some dumb stuff that was said. Yes, I'm on Google. Let me make that clear. I'm on Google. You can look me up. It will tell you everything about me, what I do, and all of that. But that's not my business proposal. You won't know what it's all about until you come to meet me. You'll never know. So the goal is, Candy, and I'm going to let you talk because I want to say something right. Whenever I invite you out for a business meeting, I'm looking for investors, sponsors, and business partners. So 9 times out of 10, whoever I invite, they probably doing some of the similar work. I'm not going to invite you if you're a landscaper, right? And I'm doing transitional houses. Why the hell I'm invite you when that's all you do is cut grass and trim trees? Now, when we get into the housing portion of it, that's a different thing. What? Ticker. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Oh no. I'm sorry. I was gonna say, where'd that come from? That's my own. All right, Tashawn. You know what I did? I sat up there and I pushed the button to read your comment, and everything about strengthening the community and everything we do and all the platforms, all of that showed up. I'm like, I thought somebody was sending that over, and I'm like, no, you in the wrong box. I'm so retarded. But all right, Tashawn, you always working. But yeah, and she's one of the board members. She's one of the volunteers. She's one of the women that work with the women. So the other day, Candy, that's why I had to watch what I was saying, because one person kept coming one way, and you are a landscaper. So you say. So what do landscaping got to do with my temporary housing? To put people into permanent housing. So most of the people that I deal with, family, will be real estate investors. People with housing programs. It can be recovery programs. Because recovery programs, they in there just to put their lives together, but once they leave, they need somewhere to go. So that's where the temporary side of what I do come in at. So if you have a recovery program and you don't put them in permanent housing, right? But they want to come into my housing program because they're graduating out of your program. It goes from temporary, that's why they're there, to put them into a permanent place. So why am I going to ask a goddamn on when I have my meeting like this? Grass cutter, trim hedges cutter. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think what the business called. To come to a meeting for people that's in transitional housing and trying to transition in their life. I didn't want to say it, Candy, but that's why we got to watch what people say out their mouths. Some people just say stuff to be talking. So most of the people that I will invite out, they're apartment managers, they're property owners, because you know why? They need clients into those spaces. So normally, because of the program that we're helping people to turn all of this around, they want people in their properties that will pay their bills on time every month, that will keep their place clean. Look at so many home and chef. You work too goddamn much for everybody, Tashawn. But look, that's why a lot of landlords and property owners will reach out to people like me, because they want to make sure that the clients will be responsible. And most of all, they want you to take care of their place. Man, Tashawn, Sam, I feel sorry for Sam. Sam had some people in his house. That man went over there to inspect his house. He had bugs everywhere. It was nasty. And people think it's okay to live like that in other people's houses. They're not be watching owners, right? Landlords, taking pictures of their places. In every room I watched them walk into look like it was hoarders living in it. You don't do that to people. You do not leave them people places like that. And some of y'all think it's okay. Well, but you're nasty. You trifling. Yeah, sometimes y'all know when we move in certain places, you might see roach here, roach there, stuff like that. But if you see a lot of them, you're going to do what you got to do to eliminate it as much as you can. If you see mice running around, because they get in. you're going to put down traps and stuff to catch them, to eliminate it. It might be, I'm going to just say as an example, say 5 of them, 10 in the walls. You don't know, but they traveling. So you might end up catching 1 here, 2 there, overtime, stuff like that, right? But if you living in places with grass and all of that, right? And they traveling through the dirt, and I'm trying to think of the moles, right? The moles, and they can come up in, that's what happens too. And they look just like rats or mice. So what you do when you start spotting stuff like that, you start eliminating them. You might have to get stuff to put around the house. And then in the house. I know all this. And I'm gonna kind of bring it down, Candy. Whenever the couch show on, right? And I told y'all it's about keeping it real. A lot of people might be going through certain things, right? It could be depression, grief. Just need to get stuff out. Need to tell somebody where they at, what's going on with them. And the goal is over here to try to encourage the people that's hurt, mainly if they got to leave in a bad relationship. I can tell y'all personally, it was not that easy to walk away. It just got to the point I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. It got to the point I felt like I was losing my mind trying to deal with somebody else. I don't never want to get lost in another human being again in my life. Never, ever, ever. I don't never want to turn around and make another human being my God. And that's what I did. I didn't know until I left. Physically, mentally, emotionally, that I became addicted to that person. Until I laid in the bed and I was in the fetal position, and it's like I was withdrawn from that individual. And I could not believe I was withdrawn, like I had a habit, withdrawn from the habit. I'm like, oh my God. But it was that I was physically, mentally, and emotionally detaching. And if you think I'm lying, a lot of people that have been through what I've been through could tell you point blank, he ain't lying. Because I'm going to share the process of coming up and staying out. And when I share the process, I'll share about the problem. I will touch on that. And then I will share with you the process that had to take place for me to get away and stay away a day at a time. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that because for some reason you think you deserve to be treated like dirt. For some reason you think you deserve to be treated like trash by somebody else, mentally, emotionally, and verbally abusing you. And then you're going to sit back and say, I'm all right. Yeah. But they turn you down. I'm all right. Then when you start thinking like I did when I was coming through Delaware from Jersey, and I came across the bridge, and I wanted to run that truck off that bridge. I'm all right. No, I wasn't. And thank God I did not do it. And the biggest thing with that was I was afraid that I might have survived. And I could see myself standing up in the NA meeting now, talking about what I did. to try to end my own self. Hell no. You take it any way you want. No way in the world. I will never, ever make another human being my God. I'm going to love you. I'm going to give you this. But God dang it, you will never, ever step in that place. I let my family go. I let my friends go. I stopped dealing with my own people to deal with this one person because they didn't like them. I said I'll never do it again. Because when I left it, Candy, when I left her, my family came back to me. I'm talking about my sisters. I'm talking about my nieces. Because she couldn't stand them. And I moved away from my family to please her. I will never, ever do it again. Mark my words. Come in my life and do this and that. I don't want you around your grandkids. The moment you or your daughter called too much, or the moment, bye. Play with me. Play with me. I'm a family man, Doc. But that's a lesson, family, that I have to learn. If I sound angry, I'm not angry. That's just that passion. You know, when you kind of look through certain things, and I had to fight, family. I had to fight mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I had to gain the mustard and the courage to get the freak away and not go back. You ain't gonna keep turning me up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I ain't trying to be smart women. I ain't trying to be smart men. And women, if you got somebody that's mentally, emotionally turn you down and you know you're a beautiful person inside, they do not deserve you. Better believe it. Better believe it. And this is the stuff I teach my daughters now. Because they are independent women. Yeah, I don't want, the only issue I have, right? Watch what I say. I don't want mama's boys living off my daughters. Like my daughter's taking care of them like they are babies. No. And do y'all know when I say stuff like that, guys get offended? Why they can't take care of me? But I'm like, boy, don't you play with me. Don't you play with me. Do you know how hard it is for that street not to come out? Do you know how hard it is for me right now not to say certain words because I'm an ordained deacon? I want to go against all that. You mother blocker, that's the old man. Try me. Try me. Do you know how hard it is? If you have a daughter that's struggling with somebody, my oldest daughter, and like I said, Candy, I'm trying to bring it down, baby. My oldest daughter and her baby father, they will go through certain things. My daughter will call me, or they will call me, Mr. Steve, blah, blah, blah. You can hear me, and I will tell them, take a walk. Take a walk. Because the first thing came to my mind, boy, you put your mom, bip, bip, bip. I said, take a walk. And the reason why I said take a walk, because I know they love each other. Don't you ever forget that they love each other. And in relationships, we go through things. But somebody got to take a walk and wind down. So I would tell him, take a walk. I know they love each other, family. I know we're going to go through stuff. Take a walk, wind down, then come back. And that's how I used to tell them. They ain't together no more, though. My oldest grandson by him is 18. My grandbaby by him is 7. I'm glad she got 2 babies by the same guy, even though they not together. And she makes sure her children's straight. Now I can't say too much. You know, I don't know. He might help. I don't know. I don't ask all that. I know my daughter doing what she's supposed to do as a mother, as a parent. So I'm proud of her. That's all that matters, because she's doing everything. I'm talking about being responsible wise that her mother and I taught her as a child on up. I'm proud of her. And I ain't even talking about the other 3 yet. But my youngest daughter just turned 25 today. I called my son, turned around and find out she's in Puerto Rico. She always traveled. She works in a law firm. Do you think I want just anybody in my daughter's life? And she's still with the same guy. They went through a charter school together where they stayed from Sunday to Friday. All the kids did at Southern School in Baltimore. They turned it into a private school, a charter school. She graduated from there. She ended up going to college. They paid for mostly all of that. We didn't have to really pay too much of nothing. She got a bachelor's of art degree in criminal justice. She said, Dad, I'm going to take 2025 off. She's working. She's working in the law firm. She said she wanted to take 2025 off and then go to law school. She's working it. She's doing it. I don't say nothing. I don't tell her how to do this. I don't tell her how to do that, because she already know how she wants stuff done. Little Steve, the same way. His goal is to be a professional soccer player. He know he had to finish school. He know he had to get some college under his belt. And I was trying to get him over, Candy, when we went to Amsterdam. I was trying, when he was 15, I was trying to find him a FIFA agent so he can start playing during that age and make millions. But he had his own process, and I had to back up and respect where he at, that he wanted to go through to get where he need to get at. And I told him this too, Candy. If you get to the point, say like you might lose that desire to go overseas to be a professional, open up your own thing here. Come on. Because I want him to stay within his passion. And he loves soccer. I'm telling you. And he's very, very good at what he do. Only thing I do, because I was trying to put my hands in it, direct him, I had to back up. Because he already know how he, or his process, that he needs to go through to get where he's going. They built a whole soccer team around my son when he was coming up. Kevin, I was going to say Kevin Planks. I was going to say Kevin Planks. But Kevin Healy and Mike Conway, 2 white guys, guided my son's professional career. Mike Conway was the one that sent his information to Adidas. Adidas invited my son to Amsterdam to represent Baltimore City in the United States. He was 15 years old. I wanted to tell Mayor Pugh so bad what he was going to do. Me and Kevin Healy and Mike Conway, I wanted to let her know that he's going to Amsterdam to represent Baltimore City and the United States. But by that time, she was going through a lot. All right, Candy. And I didn't want, because of the stuff she was going through, Tashawn, to kind of affect my son. I didn't want that bad, the stuff she was going through to kind of tarnish him. So I did not tell her. I told her afterwards. He went and did what he did when I met her and me and her talked. Because I always called Catherine Pugh, "What's up, beautiful?" And she would blush. That's why I try to tell y'all. See, y'all don't know Big Steve. That's why I tell y'all I like to get to know the individual person. I'm not pressed about their political affiliation. Whether they're Democrat, whether they're Republican, they're all human beings. Y'all want to sit back and say, oh, they animals, oh, they devils, oh, but they human beings. We just don't believe in the same things. A person that's living a more conservative lifestyle, right? They're not carrying that ghetto mentality. They're not thinking like that no more. So as you begin to grow, you live in that middle class lifestyle, that more conservative lifestyle. You know what it takes to get where you at. So that ghetto mentality for some, that's not how they structured anymore. And their language begin to change too. That's more like living that conservative, sociable lifestyle from a different level. I might sit up here, right, and say some ghetto stuff. But mark my words, when I'm around socialites, that's not how Steve act or talk. So they see another side of Steve like, wow, I like this, I like that. But they know the realness about Steve. They know the realness, and I'm talking about our politicians and lawmakers and stuff. On here, I'm the realest you ever want to be. But when you're dealing with socialites, now you got to act a little bit more conservative. They might tell you stuff like, yeah, I was looking at your line the other day, bro. You sirs. They know that. They know Steve ain't no joke when it comes to wanting the best for the people. All right, Candy. You still there? Candy. Oh, you must have walked away. Now, I was watching Ron Versation talk show, right? But my goal was to come on a little bit earlier. But I was watching Ron, and I like his prompts. He already know Big you know. And when I go on like Ron's platform, Jador platform, when I go on Mr. Petty platform, sometimes I don't feel comfortable coming on these platforms no more. Because people, they answer the prompt, but they answer the prompt. I can't even find the words, family. I'm thinking that they might be talking from a personal experience towards the prompt. But they're talking about everything else and everybody else to answer the prompt. I'm trying to find out what it's called. Because I be lost as a bee. I'm trying to find out what it's called. When people sit up there, right, and you got a prompt up, and they going to call themselves answering the prompt, but then it's like they answer the prompt in reference to Uncle Ben or Jemima Pancakes. I'm like, what the hell? To answer the prompt. So look, peace. I had to tell him not being smart, but when I did say something, I said, look, when I come up, I'm letting y'all know now, I share my personal experience towards a prompt. Because every time somebody put one up, it's like, oh, I've been through that. Oh, I went through this, so blah, 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 right? So I can share like what it means to me and how I was able to come up out of it. But when I do peace, and I'm going to let you share because I don't know what Candy went at, they want to come for me. My thing is, don't you ever come for me. Because number one, I'm sharing from a personal level of experience, not my ideas, not my opinion. I'm not going back to Adam and Eve to answer the prompt. I'm not going back to and your mom and them to answer the prompt. So I got to be nice. I share, and I told them, I come from a level of personal experience. And I know a lot of times when I open up my mouth, the ones that call themselves one to answer that won't answer normally hurt. Come on, peace. I seen you wanted to come up.
Oh no, I was just listening. I was just trying to fill you out
Okay.
see what the live was about. But I do agree with what you say. Most people don't really answer it the prompt. They pretty much divert and go to different things to talk about, you know. But if you come in with experience that you lived, that's your experience.
Right.
Nobody should minimize that, you know.
Yeah, I don't, and then too, yeah, because I was letting you try to talk. I don't do topic. Basically, it's the couch talk show. So when you come up and say like wherever you at, my thing is just keeping it real, right? So like you said, if you need to get a feel for something too, that's fine. But on here, it's about solutions. You get me? And I try to be nice, peace, but I tell people if you come up with your bull crap, I'm gonna drop you. If you can't share stuff basically that help people turn their lives around, right? Because it's the same way with TikTok. My lives are seen all over the world, right? And I'll tell people this. You see where I'm sitting at right now, this is my iPhone. I got my iPad over here. So I'm restreaming all together to 7 platforms. This is 7. I mean, this make number 7, and I got 6 over here. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, and I'm on 2 of my Facebook pages. So I got people over here on my Facebook page that might make comments, but they hear y'all over here. But they hear me speak on certain things, but they can also hear y'all speak here. So that's where I'm at. So I have my own broadcast network as well. That's where I'm at over on this one. I just didn't put TikTok in to my broadcast network one because they're real sensitive about certain things you say. So this is something regular for me. I'm not one of those ones that put stuff up and, you know, want to get the, what is it, accolades and the algorithm up and get me to 200,000 and I need 1 million people in there and send me some this and that to drop such and such and such. I don't do that piece. I'll do it. You can send a pew pew gun and I'll mute them for 5 minutes and I'll be watching people. I'll be like, oh my God, they be rolling. But I know who's making the money, you get me? And I try not to knock them. If that's how you make your money, that's fine. You know, certain people I'll support. I might be in the comment. They might bring me up. Anybody that come up on their platform that they know likes to start a lot of chaos and confusion piece, they'll drop me. And the moment they drop me to bring such and such up, I'll be like, thank you. Because I ain't trying peace.
Now, what part of the city are you from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Are you from Baltimore?
Yeah.
That's good. That's decent. I like Baltimore. I like Baltimore. I like the crabs and stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you said you broadcasting from all over?
Yeah. Once I broadcast right here, I'm streaming to, it's like a podcast. So I'm streaming to all together the package that I'm sorry, peace. The package that I have to do my restream broadcast is 8. Now, as I begin to grow, I can flip it up to 15, but that means that I'll be broadcasting live like this to 15 other 15 other it's like countries and everything. Yeah. So it was a lady on here from Canada, right? I ain't know. And we had a beautiful conversation, and I got a guy that I talked to, he's in Africa. So anytime I go live on my Facebook, he'll see me. And we communicate and everything. And it's a lady in the UK. I'm only saying this because a lot of people don't know. When you on TikTok and you get somebody that come on and they sound like they from a different country, like the UK and all of that, that's simply telling you that you're live streaming all over the world.
Yeah.
And if you putting people on your live stream, that's very, 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 very toxic. And guess what, baby girl? I mean, to peace, because sometimes I say things out of respect, but people take it wrong. They monitoring us, and I know you know that.
Yes.
as a race of people.
Yes.
So you got other countries, Africa and all of that, watching us, the UK and all of that, watching us act like fools amongst each other. Then you wonder why people judge us.
Yeah.
And I shared that before you came on, right? I was talking about the white man. Because people
Mm-hmm.
have a tendency of doing this. The white man this and the white man that. We're not the only people that exist in this world.
Exactly.
And that's what I said earlier, Peace. You keep saying the white man this and the white man that. And when I was saying it, I was talking about the have and the have nots.
Mm-hmm.
The have and the have nots. They're not all white.
No, they're not all
Thank
white.
you.
No, they're not.
And I started seeing it because of the work I do. But basically it goes back to most of your when I say millionaires, I'm talking about the ones that's like maybe into 50, 100, stuff like that, who
Mm-hmm.
have businesses or corporations where they make money off their employees is the one that helped them make the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people that. So we cost them a lot of money to take care of us. So the whole goal is for them to be able to get employees or get people to work for them for free, basically. And I call that the big old slave plantation.
But what do you mean by work for them for free? I'm confused a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna try to make it as simple as I can.
Okay.
You familiar with the prison system, right?
Yes, I'm familiar with the prison system.
You know how they use people to work for them, right?
Yes.
That's the process.
Okay. Yes. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it was something. If you don't understand, not you, but the same way you might hear me talk about the school to prison pipeline.
Mm-hmm. I believe.
And
Yeah.
and they start off real young, not to really properly educate our young men. 9 times out of 10, if you don't educate them properly and they feel like they can't make it in life, they might start going the other way. So the goal is to set them up so they start doing it, and then you put them into this one. I call it the big old slave plantation, the
Yes.
prison,
Pretty much. Yes.
the prison.
Yes. Yeah. But a lot of people don't realize that it starts with the school system. It's already monitored like a prison with the bells, the lunch, the this, the that. It pretty much sets them up for failure because they don't really get them the adequate things that they need to be
Right,
successful.
right.
You know what I mean? So it starts there. That's why when they give them an IEP, they already got a bunk pit for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they do start young, very young.
In Baltimore City, I was called to speak out against our school superintendent, right? For
Mm-hmm.
not, the thing is, I had to share my story. I came out in the 10th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my education or my vocabulary level stopped right there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have an extensive vocabulary like most people that even finish school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at the lifestyle that I live streetwise.
Okay.
And I was sharing that how important it is for the school superintendent to give the teachers the proper curriculum to better educate our children.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared that. At
Mm-hmm.
21, I ended up getting my class A truck
Okay.
driver.
Okay.
From even though I didn't finish school, uh, I just God dang it, I drove tractor trailers for 35 years. I retired at 58.
Okay.
I know you can be successful.
Yeah.
They don't want you to think you can. So I'll share my story to help people understand, whether you're educated or not, you can be successful in life, but you the one have to put in the work. So now, mind you, I'm sharing this, but I'm letting them know. I said, who's over top of the school superintendent? I'm trying to see that they say, I think they said the board. I said, no, they're higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said the mayor. I said, no, they're higher than that. What person turned around and said something about cutting the funding for the schools? Did you hear him?
Yeah. Ooh.
I said, there you go. It's higher up. That's all I was trying to get people to see. It always starts from here on down. And now they talking about like daycare. They talking about cutting the money for daycare. They doing this, they doing that. And be honest with you, most of that's going to affect your low to moderate income people. And guess what? Peace. They don't like when I talk like this. As a community activist, as a human rights advocate, as a civil rights advocate. Well, they don't. I fight against our politicians that's not doing a great job for the people. And my goal, I'm gonna challenge you to do your job, do right. The people hired you, right? But we already know it's by design. And this is what I was telling somebody last night, right? Now I got ordained deacon. That's just the title. Conti, I said I'm a minister for Christ, right? For the body of Christ. Somebody told me last night, they said everything you doing is what evangelist does. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna start using that word. Because when I try to explain to people, if I tell you I'm a deacon, and Canty might do it, and I'm gonna slap them around. When I say I'm a deacon, the first thing they say, Peace, oh, he sleep with the women in the church. He do this, he do that. I say, no, I don't. And look, Canty, that's why I said I was speaking with Canty, right? Because look, just because you got certain people in positions that do what they do, don't put everybody there. And look, having that title of deacon, the authority, if I want to, I can sleep with whoever I want. And I'm gonna tell you this, look, Peace. I ain't got had no title, right? I threw this, I almost cursed. I threw this on because I think I'm handsome as all outdoors. I ain't cold or nothing. I just threw this on to look a little, you know.
Well, I'm cold. I'm in Ohio.
He said I'm cold.
Stop, Jack. Well, I'm telling you right now. I'm he knows I'm from DC, man.
Yeah. That's why I brought him up. But look, Canty, somebody the other day, I had ordered some scarves. I'm wearing my damn scarves. It's cold to go. Canty.
If you want to look like Tyler Perry, go ahead.
Look. Come on, Canty.
Man to me.
Huh?
Oh, what is that?
What's what?
What kind of hat is that, bro?
Oh, this a regular hat. I like playing with stuff, man.
All right, man.
Canty, sometimes I sit here and I be like, you know, I might come up with the vest, the tie, stuff like that. And then look, Canty, you know who I am, right? As far as a Christian. I be wanting to do this stuff like this because I want people to say, oh, he must be a Muslim. He must be an Israelite. So I can tell you, no, he's not. He's a Christian. I just like wearing this. You get me? Stop judging people for the way. Stop judging people for the way they look.
That is the way to make people think, man. Just throw them off. They be like,
there you go. There you go. And look, I was sitting downstairs and I did 3 clips. I took my damn head off. I said, it's too hot.
Oh, damn. Put that shit back on, nigga. Oh. Nigga. I wish you could see my fucking head, dude. Shit. I'm sorry to cuss so much, man.
No, you are. As long as they don't flag us, that's all right. I like, it's all about being real, Peace. And that's what I love about Canty. I dropped his butt the other day because it was too many of them. It was getting too hot.
So 20 times he dropped my ass.
He was trying to make a point, Canty.
No, he was making a point.
He was making a point.
Canty, be honest with me. He was making a point, but his point was like this. Look, Canty, look. You see what I got?
Oh shit! That ain't no Baltimore milk, nigga.
This water. Look, it ain't spice water.
Shit.
You catch your Canty, it ain't spice water.
You got kratom in that.
No. Sometimes, be honest with you, if people sound like they intoxicated, I'm not gonna keep you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's me all the time.
All right. Well, as long as you act like you got some sense, I'm all right. But if it gets to be too out of hand, I can't keep you up here. And the only reason, right. That's all it was, bro. Now keep in mind, the 26th of this month, I'll have 33 years away from all of that.
33?
33.
You look young, man.
I'll be 64.
Oh yeah, you do look real young.
I'll be 64 February the 20th.
God bless you. You look way younger than that. Definitely do. I wouldn't have thought you was that old.
Thank you. And know what I love? Y'all know I went through hell and back, right? And I don't look it.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, and truly I thank God, because I run across a lot of people my age or a little bit younger than me, and they be wrinkled and worn out, and I'm like, and it's life.
Yeah, it's life. It's start beating them up.
Yup. And that's what I started seeing, Peace. That's what I started seeing. Come on, bro.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Like I do this for brothers younger than me, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Like you still let me back in, man. Even though I was crazy and stupid, y'all could see that I was trying to learn something, man. And I just come back in and chat with y'all, man. And I really did learn something. I never would have thought that I would get something out of TikTok. You know what I mean? That's crazy to say. I just had to say that, man, because you said that, man. You know?
I just want you to know, point blank, bro, you're always welcome. And you said, oh, you're not going to let me back up. I was going to let you back up, right? But I'm going to tell you this. And Candy, I know you know. Whenever you see Devin over here, Conti or whatever, whenever you see Devin over here, do not, listen to me, bro. When you see Devin up here, do not feed into Devin's bull jump. Because Devin will flip stuff, bro.
Okay, well, this Devin, he's that DC nigga?
Yeah.
Okay, that nigga. Okay.
Now you know, because look, remember all of us was talking, but what he have a tendency of doing, Canty. I've been knowing this guy for a long time, but he never talks about himself. You know who he always talking about? He shares my story. And I tell him to stop.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I can help you with that, you know.
I don't know what it's called though. Peace.
Yes.
He know my life better than I know my life. I be like, is he peeping on me? Is he? I'm telling you. Yeah. Ex Candy, I ain't lying. He will sit back, he'll talk. He know what I do, point blank. And it's like he'll twist it to make it seem like I'm this monster. And I said, man, stop that. But he's talking about, he talking about himself, but he's talking about me. And I'm like, what in the hell is you doing?
He's a narcissistic person.
That I was trying to figure what it was.
Oh, God.
1 minute, he cool. And the next minute, and I tell everybody, I said, 1 minute he's lined up with me. And I said a couple of days later, he done flipped.
Mm.
They never catch it.
Mm.
So some people you can't. Now, Candy, do me a favor, Conti, because I wanted to share something with Candy. That's why I wanted her to come on. Can you talk a little bit about Dr. K? If you want to come up, come on. Can you share a little bit about like your grieving page and what it's all about? Because I was thinking about that.
Come on. That's fine. No, I started that page on Facebook. I started that after my first husband passed away, and I was like, I just needed something to do at the time. But then when I started it and then started getting people and stuff, it just basically it grew. So, and a lot of the messages when there are basically to help others to be able to get through their grieving process. So, yeah, that like I said, I was trying to do a live, and I don't know how to do it, so I could share more of it.
Well,
but again, I don't know how to do it.
Yes, you do. Wait in peace. When you said that to me, Candy, one thing you do that I'm not good at doing, you know how to send little videos over, right?
Yeah.
And your videos are so amazing. You know, you'll send videos of yourself. You'll send videos of you and Conti, mute up. So only reason why I'm saying is because you're starting. That's all. Basically, you're starting. So
Yeah.
I want you to know right now, how many followers you have?
On that page alone, 237 people.
Your page.
Now on my
TikTok. I'm sorry, TikTok page.
TikTok,
yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, you have to know, because if I'm not mistaken, Peace, you have to have like 1,000 followers, right? If I'm not mistaken, or friends.
Yeah.
But some people know how to do it when you get to about 5. But I know they want you to at least have 1,000. And
Yeah.
you can start going live. But now, be honest, because you're up here, and this is what I wanted to tell you. You're going live here. So you're actually live, but it's being able to do your own platform.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I wanted to clear up with you. You doing it, but it's like for you to, can you cut your camera on?
Mm-hmm. I don't have, well, that's one thing I don't have is a YouTube page.
No, TikTok.
Oh.
What you want to, you can always go live on YouTube. That's not a problem. So where you want to basically go live at? On here? Because I know you said something about it, and I thought you was talking about TikTok.
Yeah, I'd rather do it on TikTok. I was trying to do it on Facebook, but the problem is with that is I have Chris's friends on there, and you know how it goes with, you know, people telling others, thinking that I'm talking about them, and it's like, I'm like, why am I even doing lives anymore if I'm going to have the rumor mill on there?
And guess what? I'm glad you said that too, because you used to go live. And I just thought about that because I used to see you live too. But keep in mind, whenever you go live, I don't care who they is, they're gonna knock you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're gonna knock you. I can tell you that right now. My family, like my sons, my daughters, my nieces, my nephews, stuff like that I raised, they're not on Facebook a lot. They might post certain little things, but they're not on Facebook a lot like that. They're not on YouTube a lot like that. And I'm always, those are other platforms, but they can see Unc. They can see Unc. They can see me. right? But they don't respond to a lot of my stuff.
Yeah.
And they might think, in their eyesight, they're not used to me speaking as loud as I do. And I tell them, because of me being in the community, and be honest with you, because I'm in the ghetto helping people put their lives together, my family don't understand why I'm doing it. And I had to explain to them that my mother was a community person. You know, people needed food, they needed clothing. My mother was into stuff like that, into dealing with the politicians because of my brothers. You know, being locked up to juvenile, all of that. So I watched my mother. But by the time they came, my mother passed away. So they're not used to me speaking out like this. So sometimes to them, it's like, oh, Uncle Steve crazy. No, Uncle Steve ain't crazy. Daddy ain't crazy. And I tell them that because I know they watching me. No, I'm not. But look, this is a side of me, that warrior, that they aren't really used to seeing. So what I try to teach them, the same way we raised y'all with morals, values, and principles, y'all are grown now. So y'all are living that life. So be honest with you, I go back into the community to help others. I don't worry about my children because my children are living a beautiful life. But then I'm back with organizations in the community helping to turn it around. And that's something that they're not used to. And I have to explain it to them over and over. I think it's beginning to click now because they older. But to me, what I have to say sometimes to them, you know about, I was gonna say Malcolm X. You know about Dr. Martin Luther King. You know about his purpose, his mission. Jesse Jackson and all of them. Your father is a civil rights advocate. Your father helped to fight for the people, civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights, and it doesn't matter your color. And that's what I have to make clear to them. My daughter, that's a lawyer, studying to be a lawyer. I walked her through the community to let her know, when you're going to get to that point where you're going to have to understand the constitutional rights, but basically the laws, right? The amendments. I ain't got no education, I ain't got no degree, but I understand what needs to be done. And this comes from God, because I ain't look peace. I ain't educated in that area at all, but sit me down with our politicians and stuff.
But you got life experience. People don't realize his life experience outweigh all of that. That's
God dang it.
Mm-hmm.
God dang it. I can't say no more. Because that's what I realized. And it's not being smart, family. She right. Because when it comes to issues in the community, because I used to put the poison out there, I can actually tell you what we can do. It'll never stop, but I can tell you what we can do to slow it down. Basically gain control over it. You know what I mean? But then I realized certain people, the system, be like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that, Steve. We making more money off of that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And look, y'all can't see me, right? But I'm talking about the way my legs are. When they poured that ethanol and stuff into the community, right? I went to the first overdose thing that they had. Brandon Scott was there. Antonio Hayes was there. And these guys, I call my nephew because I hung out with their mothers and fathers during the day. Right? I mean, back in the days. I'm sorry, I said during the day. But look, the reason why I'm saying this, because I'm sitting here in this chair. I got my legs crossed. We in the church at Gethsemane on Francis Street. Bunch of white people there, doctors, professors, all that, right? They trying to figure out what can they do to help slow down certain things in the black community. So you know who opened up his mouth, right? Me. I got my legs crossed, right? The way I'm sitting there. Now, by this time, they broke us off in groups. I looked around. Brandon Scott was sitting right here on the stage, right beside me. And I call him nephew. Do y'all know how good that felt? He's the mayor of Baltimore City. Do y'all know how good that felt? He came over there and sat beside Uncle. Then Antonio Hayes. I'm talking with him. That's Senator Antonio Hayes. I'm talking with him and his cousin and them that I grew up with. We in the church now. Then I'm telling all these people basically what we can do to help turn a lot of this bullshit around. And I found out after they did that, they got $460 million to treat that. And the first thing I was saying to myself, y'all motherfuckers, because they pulled it in the community. See, I'm sharing this with y'all. But when it come to me talking with them, I already know what's what. I cannot use that type of language. I cannot come that way. But they know when Steve opened up his big mouth candy, I'm not playing. And thank you, Peace, because know what? I lived that life. And doing the work that we do, and I said I'm going to start saying we because of the organizations that I deal with to help fight this stuff. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm dealing with organizations, right? I don't mess with the NAACP. And actually, I should be with them. Because they don't come out and fight for a lot of our stuff.
Not now, not like they used to back in the day.
You got it, Peace?
You don't even hear about them no more.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know some people that do work with the NAACP, but be honest, when I read that documentary back in the days, Marfa 21 Black Genocide, right? And it talks about, I'm trying to get her name together, Margaret Sanger. Well, anyway, as I was reading that documentary, and it talks about how, now, mind you, it was talking about how she's supposed to have been the modern day Hitler, right? I did not know, and I got to watch my language with this too. I did not know that this man unalived just as many black people as he did the Jews.
Wow.
And when I read that, I was blown away, right? Because we don't hear certain things. No. So now, look, as I was reading through it, and Margaret Sanger, it was more about the AB clinic stuff, right? Now, as I was reading through it, it talks about how the NAACP was kind of a part of this bull crap too. And I got pissed.
I can believe it.
I got pissed. Because y'all know that's basically for the black people. But what I started understanding in this whole process, a lot of our local leaders, I already know this, get paid to sell us out.
Yes, they do. I tried to tell somebody, because I pretty much work, I do advocacy. If you go to my page, I don't have a lot of stuff because just like Candy, I'm pretty much new to the TikTok thing. And can I just address this one thing, please?
Yeah, come on.
So Candy, I can go live, but you're not going to be able to do what he's doing right now. And they have people that you can pull up to your panel. I only have 700 and something people on my TikTok, but I am able to go live. You have to still engage in other people's live in order to pretty much get you out there a little bit, and then so that you can have people come up on your platform like how he has. Yeah, that's how it works. So I can't do what he's doing right now. So I engage in lives like this because it helps me to be able to have a platform as well. You know, just in case I don't have the followers, because I am in Philadelphia, and I do help our community, and I also volunteer and help other organizations with communities. The Elevation Project.